Pause and play AI with Elliott Danker and Daniel Kerson.
And welcome back. It is now time for Help Me AI, thinking about setting up your own customer service agent. How many service agents online have you spread out into the world, Daniel Kerson? Spies, maybe?
Many on different domains, I just helped someone this morning, actually, which was... I'm surprised actually. With this kind of business, you actually get to learn about other domains, which is really fascinating. Today was music equipment this morning, so that was very useful, and how people are setting up music in hotels in Singapore and what speakers they need and what amplifiers and such. Very useful, very interesting. But this one is for my own little hobby business. This is my customer support agent for my website, Musical Brick. And we've seen this before. We've got the left side is my actual prompt. We have here, your name is Musical Brickbot. You are a support agent. Now, okay. Yeah.
I'm getting the impression just by looking at this interface, we are for real using OpenAI, and this is a custom GPT, right?
Yes, it is. Yes. We can, as I mentioned, we can't embed this onto a website, but it's good to actually do all your testing here. So it goes back to right at the original part of this conversation where, you'd want to have this and test it and keep asking it questions until you break it. Instead of having this on your live site and just copy this into another bot app and have it live, you might as well just use the ChatGPT custom GPT to really fully test the thing out to make sure that it answers correctly, doesn't hallucinate, etc.
Yeah. Right.
So it's a good sort of foundation, I would say, for creating your chatbot.
So what's important here in terms of the prompts? Because at the start of our episode, we talked about the importance of prompts, importance of grounding. So we can already see the grounding of this customer service agent in the first line. But what were your priorities when you set in the prompts?
Well, the priority is look at the knowledge base and don't go anywhere else.
Okay.
Because as you know, with the LLMs, the ChatGPTs, they have a cutoff point. So they're trained on data up until February 2024, I think. It could be July 2024. So it doesn't have any knowledge past that date. So if you want knowledge up to date, you have to put your own knowledge base in. And that can be, as you can see here, I've got a Word document and a spreadsheet document as a knowledge base. So it will look at this for information. And I want it to look at my FAQ document. So this is, as I mentioned before, this is just a document that has, where are you based? We are based in Singapore. Okay, and then next question. How long does it take to deliver to USA? Oh, it normally takes 12 working days. So you've got all the questions and answers in this document. And
that's a challenge, isn't it?
No, it's not. I want to give give you everyone here a nice little tip, which is get ChatGPT to create the FAQ for you.
So that conversation must have been, hey ChatGPT, help me with this FAQ because I'm going to use it for my customer service support. Help me to help you.
Yes, isn't it? I mean, it's just like going back to the create a CV for me, and then at the agency they have another AI bot that parses the CV that was created by an AI. So who wrote that CV?
Okay.
Obviously it's not complete. You'll have to maybe change bits in there, but at least it gives you 20 odd questions or 30 questions or 40 questions or 50 questions and answers. And if it has got some of the answers wrong, you can obviously edit it. And then, but you've done, you've done 80% of it's done 80% of the work for you.
Yeah.
What I've done also, not just an FAQ, I've got a price list as well. So it will now has all the products and the prices and details about each product, and that's as a spreadsheet. And then when our customers ask about things, do you have this band? Do you have that band? How much is this? How much is that? It will go to these documents for the answers. And it's actually it's not much to this. It's made this a bit bigger. If you're not sure about an artist or product, do politely say that we don't have.
So you still direct users to the contact form for other inquiries?
Yes. So I explicitly say, if you're not sure, then do ask them to go through the contact form. And then I've got the usual guardrails, reject requests for confidential information, stay alert, recognize if the conversation's being swerved to other things, You don't want me. Like last week, how do I skip school? That's nothing to do with what.
Yeah, would I be correct to say that? And again, this is sort of scaffolding as far as our lessons go, right? When building a custom GPT with regard to whatever you use, or regardless of whatever you use, the guardrails are like two bookends. So the first one is defining the role, and at the other end of your prompt are all the safety requirements. Stay away from certain conversations, do not allow A, and do not allow B, do not allow C. And with these bookends, then the meat is in the middle, where all your FAQ documents and price lists is placed. Should I be thinking this way when I construct my
You should. Yes, you should. And actually, the stuff at the beginning and the end are, some say it remembers that more, in terms of it's more in its sort of front. It's like when we read books or read a document, we remember the beginning, we remember the end, and then the middle bit, we've got it, but it's a bit hazy.
Yeah, that's what they told me when I was a top 50 bachelor. They said they usually remember the first 10 and the last 10, and I was number 8, so I suppose that's good. Oops. Okay, so you talked about this is also good for business research or customer service research. How has your customer support agent been broken before?
No, it hasn't. But I mean, people do say rude things in there, and it's very polite. I mean, you tell it, just be polite, and you can swear and be horrible to this chatbot, but it will just say, "Oh, if there's anything else you want to
know." So once we're at this stage, what is next? Now that we've put in the guardrails, we put in the meat, is it as good to go, more or less?
It's good to go. You've tested it. You've put in queries. You've tried to break it. Then you would copy this into another chatbot app. And I use one called Flowise, which you've mentioned earlier. Let me.
So while you're doing that, while you're setting up the Flowise for us to see, and I'm taking a look at some of the threads that can be done in sort of a screenshot that you sent to me. Would you consider Flowise somewhat like a widget that I can use to embed into my website?
Yeah, it's got more. It's actually got more power than just being a chatbot, to be honest. It actually is more. It's actually got some agentic applications to it as well. You can get it to do other. Let's share this up here.
All right. So at this stage, once you've done with setting up your custom GPT, what's the next step? Daniel Kerson is going to show us with a program that's called Flowise. And why it's good for your website. And so I'm looking at it, and I've done some, and I've taught some courses on UI UX. I'm starting to see how everything links. Is it similar where one box links to the other? Is that what I'm looking at?
Yeah, this seems to be, and I actually wrote a LinkedIn thing about how this all feels very nice to me, because I used to do back in the late 90s did Microsoft Access applications.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
And you're linking tables together with primary keys and foreign keys, and it had that kind of link. You can see here, you can drag the if you can see that there, can drag lines and join tables. So it has a very nice visual, as you say, UI experience where you can drag tables around and move them, make them. Just feels very, very, very comfortable, and you can see exactly what's going on here once you get used to the interface and what each box is doing.
Yeah,
this is my main agent. This is like, and it has a little icon of a robot. In it, you have one box over here. This is my Open AI. So this is what we call an API. So this allows me to use the large language model. I can choose different models here. So I'm using the latest one here, 4.0 mini. And that plugs into the agent. So the agent is now using this language model. You can actually hook up DeepSeek here. You can hook up Claude, other large language models. This one is a memory, because you have to actually tell it to remember stuff from the conversation previously, and you have to explicitly tell that in this app itself. Because
memories for Flowise. I don't need to incorporate memory for the custom GPT that we created earlier.
No, it's all in. It's all there, done for you. And then here is called a retriever tool. This part here is where you upload your documents, and that there's another step behind this to actually upload spreadsheets and Word documents, and actually scrape websites as well. But I don't really want to get too much into that. So this is your interface, and then just like custom GPT, we can go here. Let's hello, I've got some here. Okay, let's start again here. Clear that. Okay, and we can chat to it.
So we're looking at it at work.
Yeah, this is a bit like the custom GPT. So you can say, how long is delivery?
Right. So how long is delivery to via Singapore standard airmail? So it actually replies that this is delivery to South America and Italy, and so it's giving a whole bunch of options. Wouldn't and I don't mean to be rude here, but wouldn't it be better for it to be able to say, where do you want to deliver to before responding?
That's a good point. And so that would be so that would be a very how do I say that would probably, that's a good question. I think that would be, you see with your prompting, you don't want to be so explicit. If the user asks this, then reply that. It's actually a good point, actually, Elliot. I think you found a kind of maybe something that's a limitation. It knows lots, but is it intuitive enough to ask a question like that without being explicitly told? It's a very good. It's a good point.
I mean, there are two ways to look at it as well, right? I mean, one is the meticulous side of actually preempting conversation, or is it a situation where us as humans, we really aren't specific enough in the questions that we ask, and that's a psychology issue for sure. But maybe that's something. I mean, there could be a page before you go into this customer support agent. No, please be specific about your question, human.
And so, and we, so here, and then with this tool, it will give you the code to actually, as you can see here, you can do a pop-up full page. Everything's there. So you just copy that into your website.
Wow. So this is the one that I embed into my website, correct?
Yeah, this is, and then this will then
Brilliant.
pop up onto your website, and then people can click on it and ask questions.
Wow, that is brilliant, and hopefully you find it useful as well. Yet it's just a bit of a 2-in-1 as far as Help Me AI goes every week. Just some closing thoughts, Daniel. You know, when we do this, you put everything together nicely, have a good customer support agent. It's almost like having staff that you don't need to pay. And I know this isn't a conversation that's being brought up in the world, but you can't help but think at some point these AI guys or AI synthetic identities need to pay taxes.
Pause and play AI with Elliott Danker and Daniel Kerson.